Hey AfterBuzzers, thank you so much for tuning in to another after show for Dead of Summer here at AfterBuzz TV. Tonight we are discussing Season 1, Episode 10, the finale, She Talks to Angels, and we have two very special guests here in the studio, so please stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello AfterBuzzers, thank you for coming with us on this amazing journey for the Dead of Summer after show this summer here at AfterBuzz TV. I'm your host, Sam Davidson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SamD43. And before I will let you know who our special guests are sitting here on the couch, I'm going to introduce my ladies because they're amazing.
Hey guys, I'm Renee Ariel, and you can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Renee Ariel.
And my name's Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane, and we'll be looking at the chat, so chime in.
Hey campers, my name is Amber Plaster, and you guys can tweet at me at Amber Plaster.
And all right, here we go, guys. Amber Coney, Cricket. She was here episode 1 of our favorite characters. Thank you so much for being here, Amber.
Thank you for having me.
And we knew we would follow through with you.
Yes.
We were like, listen, we took a camp pact. We were like, you're coming back to us.
Yeah.
There was no blood involved, though. Well, we won't tell about that.
Don't talk about
We
it.
can't talk about it. Where can everyone find you on social media for those that don't know?
At Amber Coney across the board on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook.com/Amber Coney.
She's a lot of fun to follow. So, guys, you definitely should.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And, of course, Alberto Frezza, because how can we not have him back?
Hello, guys. Thank you for having me again. You guys can follow me on CP Jungle Boy on Twitter and on Instagram.
Well, you have just been there for the long haul. I mean, you made a commitment, and you just stayed till, like, you were dead.
And beyond.
I was just about to say, and
Yes.
past dead. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel as though I have been on some kind of roller coaster ride, and I'm
Yes.
off, and I'm feeling a little bit dizzy and happy.
Same.
How do you guys feel about this season?
It was a crazy season. I feel like so wrong about braces about Jessie, right? Like from episode 1, I was like, I don't like her. Meh, meh, meh. And like just the last 2 episodes had me crying and screaming and cheering for Jessie, and I just am. Even when we see Amy's backstory, we still don't get her backstory, right? Like I'm just so thrilled that I couldn't figure out the show.
Me too.
I'm delighted.
It was kind of like that for us as well.
I know, it was.
Yeah, going throughout the season and reading every script, it was so unexpected. Like I said before when we were here the other time, the show was really unexpected from the first episode on. You know.
Alberto, were you guaranteed life at any place? It's like, all right, you get to live for this long, and Amber, aka Cricket, of course, you're gonna die kind of soon, but middle-ish.
Like prior to actually entering production?
Yeah. How did you know?
Well, I mean, logistically, you kind of have an idea because some people are like contracted for a certain amount of episodes in the series. So I had a feeling that I would die. I didn't know when, but I had my intuition told me that I would be like one of the first people, and then eventually they told me like they're gonna make people fall in love with you, or they're trying to make people fall in love with me just to kill me, just to break everybody's hearts because they're cruel like that.
It did break all of our hearts.
It worked.
That was an amazing backlash, actually. It was amazing to see the fans' reactions and to see how heartbroken and devastated everybody was.
Well, Kari, talk about your experience at Comic-Con, because that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I saw they premiered your episode where you die at Comic-Con, and it was like exclusive, get to see it. Jaws dropped, there were gasps, and there were people around me going, no, not Cricket. So it broke people's hearts. And it was so shocking. And it was the first death. It was like,
It was, yeah.
Right.
well, the first big one.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was like, what?
Right.
Now, did you know, so you said already that you knew how many episodes you'd be in, but did you know later you'd be coming back as like a weird ghost zombie thing?
Well, I figured it out mathematically.
Oh, okay.
She figures things out.
Did you know the extent of what it would be?
I wasn't sure. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
that was just kind of what I intuited and, gathered based on my rational explanation of it in my mind. So,
Your agent's
I
like,
just figured it
listen, you're booked for this many episodes, and you might be alive or dead, but you're going to be
yeah,
there.
I wasn't given any explicit information. I just kind of had feelings. Like, I had yeah, I had feelings about where the story was going, and I was like, okay, I could see this happening.
Well, sorry.
I was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, and what about you? Garrett? Did you
had no idea,
I was gonna say
right?
we want to call you Garrett.
Sure.
Did you know ahead of time how you would die, or was it as soon as you got that script for that final episode?
Yeah, I didn't know anything. I didn't know how many episodes I was going to.
You didn't?
Well, you have. I think I can't remember how many it was. I think 7 or something. But
Okay.
you didn't know if you would get to the end. Does that make sense? So yeah, I kind of after the 5th or 6th episode, I was but you never know with Adam and Eddie and Ian. It's just you can have. It's so unexpected. You can just go.
That's true.
Yeah, and ghosts mean nothing. I mean, like they're as real as people on their shows.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, what'd you think though when you read your death,
It was a
or
cool twist,
realization
wasn't
of
it?
your death too?
It was a cool twist.
It was
wasn't
definitely a cool twist.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I didn't know what was going to happen, and I think it was an interesting way for Garrett to go. It wasn't, especially because he's on the bench and you hear those gunshots and you don't know who it is. Is it him? Is it Amy?
Right.
I was gonna say, I'm sorry, but someone from the chat asked, and they had a good question. Did Garrett kill himself so that Amy couldn't kill him? Because all the people who came back were only people that she killed. Is it ever said specifically in the script?
Nope.
What do you think it is? Because you were that character and all.
Well, I honestly don't think Garrett would. He did sacrifice himself, but I think he put himself there in front of Amy to kind of slow everybody else down. I don't think he just you know, shot himself.
No.
Yeah, no.
Amy
I
definitely
don't
did.
think he would do that.
Right. Yeah.
I think that he just, probably died of a natural glass in the abdomen death.
It looked like he kind of bled out.
Yeah.
It was an interesting theory. I was like, oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It is. I don't know. There's a lot still we didn't get answered, which we will get into. I'm going to do that at the end. But let's just start how this episode started, because we get Amy coming out of, smashing Deb to death.
I know.
Like,
so
how long did it
sad.
take her to clean up? Because that seemed pretty
I know
quick.
that was.
Her hair looked
everyone
on
was talking
fleek. I was
about.
into it.
You're like, she's so pristine.
Like, how long did that would take me a couple hours. After being completely stained in blood, I need a couple hours. It's
But
not a few minutes.
she has some influence, She has some help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
Well, you have to understand she's also the girl that gets shot 3 times.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
got shot.
Yeah, what a quick
Yeah.
that
So she's
demon
kind
has
of-
some beauty secrets.
Yeah, I would love to know her beauty secrets.
Mathis knows.
Man.
He knows hair.
Probably
makes
has
so
like a
well
really
his
good
own.
mud, face cream or something, like a mud mask.
I
And-
originally said that I wanted to see Cricket and Blair have their own HBO comedy, and now I need Malphus to have his own reality TV show. I need this in my life.
Oh my
Freeform,
God.
make it happen.
Well, can we just briefly talk about Blair and Cricket, because
Yeah, please.
Blair didn't get his own episode.
He didn't.
He's,
I know.
one of the only ones, and I think it was maybe shared with Cricket's, and I just loved your guys' friendship, and we saw this episode again, another nice flashback that you guys would always be together.
I know.
And then I thought that meant, I was like, oh, Blair's gonna die.
Yeah.
He's gonna go with her, but no.
No, but it's even more tragic because it could have been possible if I would have lasted.
Sad face.
It's really sad. It's really sad.
Their relationship was great. I mean,
know.
they worked off of each other. They helped each other. They knew each other for a long, long time.
Long
so
time.
I think that was a good dynamic relationship.
Right, and we saw each other's evolution, and I think it's so interesting because he carried on his personal evolution after my death, it kind of reverberated my own evolution, his accepting of his relationship with Drew and everything, and just coming into, ultimately that means his own acceptance of himself, and being able to just love someone as a human being. So yeah, it was cool to see him evolve after Cricket had her ultimate evolution, because it was her last.
Yeah, I think Cricket had a big role in what Blair turned out to be.
Right. It was weird because it was like he inspired her to evolve, and then she inspired him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so it's just like this never-ending cycle of like building, which is kind of what friendships are meant to serve as. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that because it's even after you died.
Yeah.
That it was because, like we said, you're basically the first big character that we learned to love that died, and it hurt us all so badly.
Even when you show up as the ghost, I'm like, Cricket, no.
I know. Creepy ghost.
I know. In this past this was like a spirit thing. Yeah.
She didn't have the scars this time, guys.
The scars, yeah.
When you come back,
Because
the
it wasn't
first
her
time,
body. It was just an apparition,
Yeah.
right?
I don't
Maybe.
remember.
Well, when your character comes back the first
Yeah.
time, I point out, and then we all kind of like, wait a minute, there's scars on your face, which
Yeah.
didn't make any sense because the people didn't see those scars, and that would be after you healed, and you won't heal after you die. But now there's no scars
In this past episode.
in the one, in the finale.
I don't remember if I had scars on. You just couldn't see them.
No, that's possible.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Dark lines.
I did have scars, right?
I think you did.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure I had scars.
Also, it's a different outfit than the one you died in.
I wasn't wearing the Dreamer outfit.
You're wearing a Happy Times rainbow shirt.
No,
but-
I was still wearing the Dreamer.
Were you?
Yeah,
And
sure.
I thought, oh, maybe it's because that's Blair's happiest memory.
the
of
good
her
time, the
and-
good vibes.
Yeah, the good vibes shirt. So I was like,
Okay.
oh,
Also,
maybe
I
it's an
love that
apparition.
shirt. They were trying to have that as my bikini reveal shirt, and then they like slathered me in body makeup, so they kept getting on the white. But it made me look tan and like a goddess or whatever.
God, I love that body makeup, and I mean that red bikini there too. Still to this
Amazing.
day, all of us are like, what?
They use
You
it on
look
like
fine.
they use it on the promos for like every episode. I'm
Yeah,
like, it's
yeah.
not
True.
relevant, but I get it. But I get it.
right.
The tanner was very helpful, let me tell you. And I was like also working out to Drake in my trailer.
Amber looks good in a red bikini, in a dead makeup, in a bear trap, in I don't know what else.
I'm gonna keep you around.
As a ghost.
Yeah.
Every which
Alberto and
way.
Amber,
The
keep it
protector.
down, these two ghosts.
Sorry.
Weirdos.
The celebratory night.
Well, of course, let's talk about Drew and Blair a little bit before we get into the rest of it, because I was, like, are they gone? Did they just make it in peace? But they didn't. They came back, which
Right.
I very much appreciated. Good people.
Yes.
Somehow I didn't see that coming, but then when they were like, we should call the police, I just thought, like, with scary movies, they're always like, we should do the right thing, and then they run the other way, and they're like, we should call the police, and then I thought, sure enough, one of them would be like, no, we can't trust them, but they were like, okay, and they called the police, and they drove the bus for help, and I was like, look at them doing the right, this was great. They did everything they should have done,
So
so I was
courageous.
excited.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine just driving and blood everywhere and kids screaming. And
Your windshield just
your wood
slathered in blood.
Yeah.
But it's good. It
held it
balanced
down.
out. I mean, there had to be some balance, right?
Yeah.
Because of what was going on at the actual campsite. So it was that yin and yang situation.
It was good. It was a
in the
good
story.
B storyline. But
Yeah.
I thought they would just be like, oh, there's nothing we can do. They never addressed the little kid, though, who's like...
Anton.
Oh, that
Oh,
creepy
yeah.
kid who was painting in the middle of the night? Yeah.
Anton is an enigma.
Anton is creepy. Oh my gosh, but I guess he saved the day in some way. But he creeps me
He needs
out.
to come back in season 2 and
Yeah.
just like
It just shows
be,
up.
Just show up, get some
You have to go
insight.
back.
he's like the same exact age in a different era.
Yeah.
It's
Wouldn't
just
his mom be like, honey, what are you saying to these people? Like, you must go back, they're in trouble. Like, calm down, honey, get in the car.
Yeah.
Let's go home and have
No,
meatloaf.
she knows he's a weird kid, so she's like,
She's
whatever.
like, he's being weird again.
That's why he's at camp.
I
'cause he's
told
being
you,
a
no
weird kid.
sugar.
Yeah. Damn it, Anton. Here he goes again with his talks of ghosts. But he made them come back. He's like the semi-hero, kind of the season, because it's been planted in that he's this, like, no, he's this weird thing this whole season. He's the weird kid.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think he was just a bunch of truth hanging around. Because
yeah.
right?
But with a little weirdness, like painting in the middle of the night.
But he
Totally
never
weird,
leads.
but he never, he never brought anybody to the wrong. He never pointed anybody in the wrong direction.
Right.
It's true. I just wish I would never run into him to begin with, so he wouldn't be like, "You're in danger." I'd rather not know. You know.
You just want to die.
Ignorance is
You would have
bliss.
been like Cricket,
No.
honey.
I would have died in a bear trap. But
Yeah.
like at least I wouldn't have seen it coming. It's like more of a surprise rather than like waiting for my death. You know.
True.
I love surprises.
We're kindred spirits then.
Okay. Well, let's not put your social media out there tonight, Renee. That's a bit scary.
Yeah, protect her.
Oh boy.
But it is true that he was this random kid, and I loved, this was a camp with campers,
Yes.
which we didn't get to see much of just
I know.
the counselors. I don't like kids being, like, I don't like Hunger Games. I'm going to be frank with all of you.
What?
I don't like it. I don't like seeing kids get murdered.
What?
Oh.
You
not,
don't?
Not my
Well, that's a
thing.
good reason not to like it. It's not necessarily like Hunger Games itself. It's just the concept.
I guess I just can't do it. But so I was really happy that
That a
no
bunch of kids didn't
Kids
get
died?
murdered.
Other children
Yeah.
died.
Yeah, I
Children.
hate movies when the actual like kids die. I'd prefer them to just sing their creepy songs and like be in the dark waiting for you.
That's scary too, though.
Yeah, but it's better than them like dying. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to run into Anton, but I don't want to see him get killed at the same time.
True.
I just
Would
want him
you
to go to
prefer-
another camp.
Would you prefer him get killed or run into him?
Or like come into your
That's-
dreams, Renee.
Oh, she knows the
I don't
answer.
wanna have
Look at her.
nightmares
She
about
knows the
Anton.
answer. She's like, he can go.
Guys, I can't say this on air.
She's like, no, nope.
I want to talk a little bit about Garrett and his father.
Yeah.
Because this has been a huge, like, through storyline throughout the entire season. We kind of see it come to fruition, but we don't ever know what's real and what's not real.
Yeah.
And I don't know, tell me a little bit about your journey with you and your father, your character's father, and how this all kind of played out for you as an actor, as a character.
It all comes full circle, you know. Garrett had a huge weight on his shoulders, and he had to, you know, follow in his father's footsteps and do the right thing. And all he wanted was to be accepted by his father. He wanted to show him what kind of man he's become. And as you see, the last time he sees his father was when he's a child, and he never had that opportunity to have that conversation with him, saying, "Hey, Dad, you were right all along. I've changed, and this is who I want to be now." So I feel like he felt guilty. He had to do something to be accepted, and I think it's a nice end to his character where he finally is accepted and he sees his dad and he's reunited with him, you know. And I think that's all he wanted, is besides keeping everybody safe, he wanted to be accepted and being reunited with his dad, and it comes and it happens. And as an actor, it was great to play with that because it was unknown, you know. Seeing Garrett's backstory, I got that backstory on episode 7, so kind of what I had prepared before was kind of all out the window after episode, you know, when I got episode 7, I was like, oh wow, okay, this is what it's about. So it made it way more deep and way more interesting for me. So I loved the journey. It was great. Yeah.
So did you know, I mean, when did you know you were going to die exactly? I just want to know.
Literally when I got episode 10. I had no idea.
It's like a week before shooting.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you guys probably were going to expect that not many cast members were going to make it through the show. It is a horror
Sure.
Yeah.
show, so I know a lot of you are.
Our creators
Probably
were saying
thinking.
that. They're like, there will be deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so
you know,
we knew.
it took a
Yeah.
couple episodes for that to happen.
Yeah.
You know, like they said, they wanted people to
Which
fall
was
in love with
good.
cricket. No, absolutely. I
Yeah.
think it was a great choice to make to people fall in love with the characters and really get to a point where they could relate to them.
Yeah.
Because I mean, every character has a really nice twist and a really nice. They have colors, you know,
Right.
that
Yeah.
everybody can relate to them. You know,
Yeah.
every single
Everyone can
person
choose their
relate to
own
you.
person
Exactly.
to root for.
Yeah,
Right.
there's
Yeah.
you know there's not one favorite. It's this is my favorite because I relate to, you know, cricket and Blair and Garrett and whoever
Must have
it
been
is.
so interesting getting your episode way later, like knowing your backstory later, you know,
Yeah,
in like that deep of a capacity.
yeah. I mean, you know, like I said when I was here, you remember the first few pages of episode 7? It was bad kid and good kid, and I
didn't
thought I was
know.
good kid
Yeah,
the whole
yeah,
time,
yeah.
you know. And
Wow.
then I only realized that Garrett was the bad kid when, you know, the police car shows up and
Right.
he says, "Damon, get in the car." Garrett, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What is that, you know? So it was great for me. I think it made it so much more interesting instead of, you know, Garrett being good the whole time.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
No
the
one,
opposite.
like, everyone likes a little bit of a bad boy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's also what we were talking about with Amy's character. You know, it's like to have that extra dimension is just way more fascinating.
Yeah.
You know, I think that like a character who's one note, you know, some people are drawn to them because, yeah, nice is very safe, but they're also not very interesting,
Yeah.
you know, and not compelling. So it's better to have those very human elements and the colors of good and bad because we all exist on like a spectrum of gray. There is really no black and white.
Yeah.
That's a really good point with the characters having such an arc, because I feel like Amy's character and Garrett's character had opposite arcs where
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
think she's good and she becomes complete evil, and Garrett starts out as like a really mean, terrible little kid, and like gives like the ultimate sacrifice at the end, becomes the sweetest, like most well-rounded guy at the end. And they've just
And same
there's
with
a lot of
Jesse.
duplicates.
Yeah.
Jesse also, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Jesse
everybody
as well.
thought Jesse was this horrible person.
Yeah.
And everyone hated her. It was
Yeah.
like,
Even getting to see a little bit of her backstory today with her mom, and we kind of get to see her.
Where she came.
With some sass.
That was the turning point for
Yeah.
her
Her
too. That
confidence
was where she's
coming
like,
out.
okay, like you want me to act this way to get
Yeah.
what I want?
She was like,
Okay,
fine.
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 We were saying
Yeah.
that
We
it's
were
like
rooting for her by the
Right.
way. Like, we were like, yeah.
Yeah, we're saying that was like the beginning of her warpath. Because
Yeah.
it's like she's in a different mindset. Like, fine, screw it. My
Right.
good life has just made it bad for me. I'm gonna go different. We had a couple quick questions for Garrett's character of for the logistically when you were on the bench. How long did you have to be there while they shot that?
Okay, so when Garrett was
Yeah.
literally dead, maybe 5 minutes.
Short, right? Yeah.
It was just a shot of him there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It feels
5
a lot longer
Yeah, 5
on
minutes.
TV,
5
but
minutes,
that's probably the easiest shot of the day, right?
Yeah, it was the easiest shot of the day.
Yeah.
Because I made the choice to stay with my eyes open, and then they were like, give us a couple of different ways of doing it. But I was hoping they would keep the eyes open. I was like, please.
Yeah.
It's just cooler.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, okay, he's really dead.
Yeah.
He's not just sleeping.
Yeah.
We've had a few people in the chat say that now you're the caretaker of the lake.
Yeah, Garrett becomes the protector of the camp. The spot, Holyoke, he was killed, if you want to say, again. And Garrett, takes his spot, and he's able to become the protector of the camp, which I think he deserves.
He was like meeting his destiny in a
Yeah,
way. Like that
yeah,
was
yeah.
what he was vying for since the beginning of the series,
Absolutely.
So
I just wish I knew if his dad was there to help him, like, run the death camp, That's what we're going to call it now. I
whoa,
guess.
don't call it that.
All right, you're right. You're right. I had my bat mitzvah, and they say we don't say that.
Yeah, don't say that.
But, are they there telling them that, like, we're just going to run this together now, or is it just you?
You mean now that he's become the protector of the camp?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure his dad will help him. I mean, he's reunited with him.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I think it'll
The
be
beams
a
of
nice.
light.
The Sykes get
Yeah.
together and
Sykes Lake now.
Sykes.
like now.
Team Sykes.
Team Sykes.
Hashtag Team Sykes.
Oh.
But you do bring the little bottle of this
The water
bad
pur-
spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
I,
the,
Yeah, that's the pure water.
But I
It's a
guess
little-
I would feel good with you having it more than anybody else than it just laying around, right? So it goes back into the lake with the goodness. So like it's like the good and the bad is in the lake, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh."
well, it was the pure water
That's
inside that we
interesting.
didn't think was necessarily empty.
No,
and
because
but then the
remember-
thing the blood crawled in there.
Yeah. And I
But
was
then
like, why
did
would
that
it-
neutralize it? And then in taking it, the water did.
I don't think it's neutralized. I think it's
Well,
like
that
still bad.
blinding white light was the purification.
But did it come from the water bottle?
I think it was.
No, it
Garrett
comes
and
from
his
the
father.
lake.
Yeah.
You remember even all the other characters walking in the
Yeah.
water at the end
The
when
light.
they get submerged. They
Okay.
have that. But I mean, father and son,
Yeah.
bigger light.
Yeah.
For the both of you, was it cold to walk in that lake? And how many times did you have to walk and do your?
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was chilly. Yeah, but it was fine. I mean, we were just. Oh, actually, no.
No, when you had to walk.
No, that wasn't me. That was my stunt double.
Nice.
Yeah, I was thinking because we did a shot where we were facing them, but they just cut it. So they ended up just using the stunt double shot. Yeah.
Well,
For-
so
for
do you
me-
remember when we had you here for the
Yeah.
first episode, but you were going back to Vancouver to
Yes.
shoot?
Yes.
So it was to shoot those, odd, like, because at the point we had you, we didn't know you were going to die. We didn't know what was
Yeah.
going to happen. So you went back to shoot, like, the, cricket dead.
I was shooting my
things.
death episode. I'm sure, right?
Was that
Well, we were
Were we
we
already
had her on
actually?
episode 1. So.
But episode 1 aired like while we were well into shooing.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So I was probably like, that's why it was probably really hard for me to like keep it. You know what I mean? Because I came in while I was in that. So
I will say something about Alberto, though, because you threw us. You probably don't even know that you don't remember. So someone asked you who you have more chemistry with.
Yes,
if it
I
was Jesse or Amy. And you were like, well, not Jesse. because it's more Amy that the chemistry is with. Does anyone remember this? Or
Yes,
is it just
I
me?
remember
you
what I
had a
said.
very
Chicken
good safe answer in terms of one, it was a more immediate, and the other was more developed.
Yeah, because Amy or Elizabeth and I started working together first. I mean, she was the first person I worked with. I think it was the first scene that I shot was with her, maybe the second scene. So her and I got to know each other on set and off set. She was actually the first person I met out of the whole cast. So I think that we had an earlier, connection rather than with Jessie, and who's played by Paulina. But I think as the show evolved, the connection between me and Paulina became also very, very strong. It was just a matter of when it would happen rather than who it was with.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit more about Garrett and Jesse's relationship? A lot of people talk about Garrett and Jesse.
I think the both of them, if only he could, survive, they would. I think they would have had a beautiful future together. I mean, especially after what they've been through now, it probably solidified their
No one else
relationship
could understand
even stronger.
that.
What a strong couple it would have
Absolutely.
been.
Imagine,
No.
it was really strong after everything they've been through and all the sacrifices that they did in order to, save each other and save other friends of theirs. I think their relationship became way stronger, and I would have been really interested to see if their relationship did progress where they'd end up. It's kind of melancholic for me too as well.
So I was like, wait, when Deb sees her guy later after he's been dead, can Jesse come back and see you again?
That's what I thought. I thought that same thing.
I think so.
Maybe,
I
hopefully.
think if he's needed.
Technically, she was seeing him.
Right.
She was,
Yeah, but later.
Yeah.
Like, if we,
But
I don't think
would
Jesse's
feel
gonna
sorry
step foot in that camp again.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
be real.
Probably
I think
not.
Garrett would be very upset if she came back
Yeah, I think
because
he
of
would.
her own safety.
And I think Jessie needs to do her life. She has a new life now. She needs to go and explore and have fun and experience.
Yeah, I do love that Jesse was Garrett's first kiss and his last kiss.
And he's like, you got it.
At least in this life, I don't know what's lurking in that lake.
She's like, I'm here.
Crickets in that lake.
True story, though. I mean, if I were lurking in that lake, I would, usually could be his first afterlife kiss. 'cause
there you
that-
Right.
go.
It's true.
Now they won't be alone. They have each other.
They
Right.
get their own,
Afterlife.
spin-off. and-
Yeah.
Ooh.
You think we go to the same place? They go to the same
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Oh, she's sure about it.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not sure about you. I'm not sure where you went. But that was another question I had. Like, all of that light into the water. Where are they going? I'm assuming that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I get that's a good thing, but also we've seen people walk into the lake and it not be a good thing.
Well, we're informed by the music, right? So, I mean, anytime somebody creepily walks into the lake, the music is like, this is going to end badly for you. And then the ending music was full of white, bright light, sunshine, and the water even looked different to me. It was like a deep blue.
Somebody thought
and
it was
like
darker.
an aqua, or
Yeah, it was.
You're not alone on that.
Totally. No, it was.
Yeah, think
I
they
was
go
so
to a nice place.
suspicious. I mean, I think they went to a nice place, the bright white light, but I was still like
I was
waiting
waiting.
for something
Yeah.
else. But the creepy music with the camp kind of indicates that
I think
something's off.
I think it's still a battle between good and evil
Absolutely.
in that lake. I think that it doesn't just neutralize or turn good. I think that the forces are always opposing.
Yeah.
And that's with the ominous, there's my word, with the
That's her word.
ominous sign swaying in the wind, you see that those forces are still going to be at large. It's going to be an ongoing thing for
And that's
the
why they
campsite.
need a new protector.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do love, though, the parallel, because I was drawing parallels with Amy and Deb all season, trying
So many
to figure
parallels.
that out. But it really, to me, in this episode, was Jesse that could possibly, because we still don't, we know that Deb's boyfriend died from an overdose, but it was all weird. She had that sex scene in the woods. And it was just like, we just kept on seeing things that were reminiscent of things that were happening to Amy. But then now Jesse's love has died and he stayed there, and it just kind of seems as though that is the new pattern that Jesse is getting on with. That Jesse could be the new Deb. That's what I think.
Oh,
I see.
That's interesting. Yeah.
That is interesting.
I could see that because, she is the most well-educated of the group. She's a leader, and she's ambitious, and she likes to fix things. And so I think that she definitely has the ability to come back and fix the camp. But I feel like she's smarter than that.
Yeah,
though.
she would have learned from Deb's mistakes, I think.
So.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
One could hope, yeah.
Yeah.
But then this
Hopefully.
camp is so strong. It just pulls you in.
Right.
Like we were having this conversation the last time I was here. Is why don't they just leave? And I was like, no,
Right.
they have nowhere to go.
Right. I know.
I do have to say, though, when, we've been kind of, episode to episode, why don't they just leave? Why don't they just leave? And especially, Renee, episode 2 was like, guys, it's too creepy. Why aren't you talking about it? And why aren't you leaving? And I'm so happy that in the final episode, you're thinking, they have to leave, right? Mm-hmm. But the magic of Holyoke keeps them there. And I was like, finally, a solid reason that they're all stuck at this camp. I was like, yes, this is delicious. So
Though, what was
it
up
really
with
cool.
Jesse running at Amy? That was weird. When they're like, run! She first runs towards Amy and then gets hit by the force field and then falls backwards and then turns around and runs the other way.
Yeah.
It was, why would you run at her?
Because she's going to hack her with an axe.
No. When they're first trying to leave and Amy
By the car and
Yeah.
when
It was
when
weird.
Cricket
Why
and
did
Joel
Jesse
come
run?
out?
Yeah.
I think that was the way to escape.
Yeah,
and so
she was
taking.
She was taking.
Well, we saw it. 'cause
She
we
wasn't
blocked
really
it,
going
but
straight
yeah,
to her,
she was
but she was
going
kind of
that
doing
way.
it.
Yeah.
Slight angle and
Yeah.
then you got hit and turned. Okay.
Yeah.
I
It
thought
was
it was
force
a
field.
panic move
All right.
as well.
Scrappy's
would've gone
mom,
sideways.
who I love, who's like my fifth mother, I guess. Scrappy's mom, my internet mom, because she really loves our show and makes nice comments. So,
Hello.
hey, Scrappy's
Hi,
mom.
Scrappy's
Scrappy's
mom.
mom.
Scrappy's mom though said that's why Deb went back to see her first love again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we've had
Jesse needs to stay away.
Jesse needs to move
well,
on.
Yeah,
yeah,
she
that's
does.
the thing
Garrett
she's
saying
going
that
to.
she needs
Yeah.
Hopefully
Because
she'll
Hey.
find another boy,
true.
you know?
I-
And just be happy
Yeah.
outside of the camp. No offense.
Aw.
Garrett was so great, but he's dead.
No, I agree with you.
Well, Deb
She
had
needs to-
some connection with her dead guy.
Yeah,
Of
but
an intimate nature, so I mean, Jesse could come back anyway.
yeah, but Deb made bad choices, clearly.
Hopefully Garrett can find Jesse.
I was
somewhere
gonna
else.
say,
there you go.
Garrett absorbed power of the lake,
Yes.
and now he can go infiltrate Jessie where she. Well, not. That sounds really weird.
Oh, really?
No, he can. He's a spirit, but
Yep.
he can
Well,
go visit Jessie where she is.
Yeah. Let's go find her.
Wrong word choice.
All good.
I don't do that often.
Two of us tonight. I mean, fair enough.
Right. There we go.
Okay, let's get into our question and answer part of the show.
We had a few
Yay.
people say, "Oh, your poor mom." Then, like, who's gonna go tell her?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
she even says it in
Too
one of
true.
the episodes. You know, I already dealt with one.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Can't deal with a second one.
I kind of kept waiting for her to reappear. A lot of my predictions were like, "Oh, she's
They're
gonna
like
be
woman
the,
hands.
she's
Garrett's
gonna,
mom.
She's gonna be the helper or whatever." But
Wow.
I was waiting for her to come back around.
Yeah, I think Garrett kind of tried to keep her. You know, after a couple episodes,
Out of
he kept going to the diner and telling her what was going on. But I think he realized, listen, I got to keep her at a
Yeah.
distance because
Right.
what she's going through must be so difficult. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after, I think it was in episode 6 or 7 when they're sitting across from each other and he finds the cufflink. You know, I think that was the thing where it was, okay, maybe this is a little too much for her.
Right.
Maybe it's a little too real. Let's kind of step away from it.
At least she was caring.
Yeah.
One good mom in this series.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Rough.
Anybody else notice at the end? It's a woman, transgender, and a gay man who survive.
I did. I loved it. I was like, the diverse survive. It
Yeah.
was so great.
Yes.
Because there was a lot of comments about like, oh, of course the black kid dies. There was a lot of anger when Joel died, and I
He
was
died
like,
so late.
I was
though.
like, he was not the first
No.
to die. He lasted a long time, and I was like, and also there's Jesse who's killing it. You know, so I'm really happy with first of all the diversity of the entire show,
Yeah.
and that not only some, but the majority of the diverse characters lived. So that was refreshing.
I just need to
Right.
say something that Boo69B said. She is so funny sometimes.
Boo69B.
She said Jessie can just take a pottery class at her college, and Garrett appears behind her and helps her make a vase.
Yeah, we had some people say ghost it. Yeah.
You down for that?
I enjoy that
That's
reference
that.
edited.
That's hilarious.
Are you
Internet,
bound,
good
like,
job.
you'll take Patrick Swayze's shoes, or you totally cool with that? Yeah.
Sure. I mean, they're big shoes to fill, but hell, I'll do it.
I would
He's
have
definitely
him as a young
talent.
Patrick Swayze. I would have that.
I would totally.
I'd watch
You know,
that.
I have to tell you, I received one of the funniest tweets the other day. I can't
What did it
remember
say?
who it was, but episode 9, Jesse's sprinkling water on Amy, and she starts saying the water washes your filth away, be purified, and then Garrett and Alex says, washes your filth away, be purified, and I get a tweet saying, I know a lot of people that I would like to sprinkle with water and say it washes your filth away. Be purified. It was great.
It would be nice.
Yeah.
I think some people do that. They take that seriously.
They just like spray people.
Yeah. Be purified.
Well, now people can just send a meme of a GIF of you guys
Right.
doing that.
Exactly.
Send the message, as
Yeah,
it were.
they're having a
Oh,
Twitter war.
no. Yeah.
All right, what else we got here, ladies?
All right. Some questions of what was your favorite scene to film in the finale?
Well, mine was the scene between Blair and I, you know, because it's so meaningful, and it was the last scene. I think I was shooting of that episode, so it was like super sentimental for me because I was like, I'm done. Yeah.
When you guys were sitting on the stoop and just being like, we're a great team, I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
all the feels. I couldn't do
know.
it.
I love Mark so much.
He's so great.
It was so great to
I was
have
just
him.
telling her how much I miss him.
I know.
Yeah, we had dinner, and I was
Yeah.
telling her.
I know I've said this before many times, but if anybody would like to put you and Mark in a show, in a comedy, I
Do
would
it.
watch it
Now.
so hard. even if it's Blair and Cricket, I don't care.
That'd be amazing.
I don't know how it's possible. I just want it.
Let's do the spin-off. That would be great.
The spin-off.
Yeah.
The prequel. I don't care. Make
You have
it
to be in
happen.
it though.
The Blair Cricket Project. Ooh, how did I get that? Oh man. Ooh. All right.
Yes.
What about you, Alberto? What was your like favorite thing to do
Oh
in the
man, it was. I really enjoyed filming the scene while I'm walking into the lake to meet with my father.
That was
a really fun and
Powerful.
just about it was really powerful, and the emotions that were going on, and it was super fun, and also one that I enjoyed was the scene when Jesse and Garrett see Garrett's actual human body dead, and that scene that they had between each other, I think was very fun.
The
And,
kiss.
yeah, Paulina and
So
I think
beautiful.
had a lot of fun doing that scene. Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Both those moments.
We do have a question in the chat. What was your favorite line of the whole season?
I love summer. No, that was like something I ad-libbed when we were all in the tank. It was like 4 a.m. and we're all like half drowning, and like they're like ad-lib, like talk about camp, whatever, and I was just like, I love summer. I was delirious. You weren't there. Were you there? You weren't there.
That's something what Ronan was saying, was that since there's so many, the actor Ronan who played Alex on the show was saying there's so many night shoots that you guys would just get delirious around 3 or 4 a.m.
Oh
every
my
night.
god,
and
I
just
was
be
gone.
bonkers.
I was gone.
Coffee was a real lifesaver.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, you guys were shooting till, I mean, when was the month? Like, when
It was
did-
August.
it was mostly night shoots. The producing team was like, yeah, when we were creating this horror show, like, or decided to come on to this horror show, we didn't realize it would be all night shoots. Like,
Wait,
you don't
night
realize
shoots,
that.
kids?
Night shoots, children, mosquitoes, like the elements, like just being in the woods, water,
Lots of water.
Yeah.
Steepy scaring everybody.
Oh my
I
gosh.
had so much fun. Oh, it was so great.
Oh, yeah,
'Cause
he did.
Not only was I scaring Mark, then I started scaring her, then I started scaring the makeup artist.
And then
it went
me.
and then you, yeah, we scared you guys. We got you today.
Yes,
Those two.
we actually got picked a little bit
Yeah,
today.
It's so fun to watch you guys watching you watch the episode.
Yeah.
We were leaning in.
That was a great skit.
and like
it was
hoping
a
that
wonderful
nothing would
moment.
happen, and looking, and then he came up behind us, both of us, and scared the crap out of us.
So for those
What's-
of you that were not there, though, Alberto and Amber, but mostly Alberto, we were very into the episode. You know, like I was on my toes, and I was really looking out for these two, though, when they were going to come in the studio.
It
And
was
the
right when we
second
hear-
I wasn't.
Jesse.
Yeah. Alberto comes up behind me and just like is like ah, and we all screamed.
It's fine.
It wasn't just me, right?
Me too.
I was a little.
It was
You
them
jumped?
too.
No, I was watching.
Yeah, I was like, well, I think he only tapped you guys.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, I was watching and I said, Garrett already died. So it'll be nice to just show up. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
It was right that moment.
Yeah.
But so we have a few more questions from the chat, and one of them was, and this is for both of you. What is the biggest thing that you feel that you learned from each of your characters, Cricket and Garrett? What is your takeaway from your characters?
Oh my God. A lot.
Yeah, there's so much.
There's so
I'm like, where
much.
do I begin?
Just off the top of your head.
Well, for me, for Cricket, I mean, I learned something essential to my entire path, and I mean, in a nutshell, it's self-acceptance. But obviously, it's very dynamic and colored. And yeah, I felt like I was evolving along with my character. You know, she was obviously in a different place in her life, but I felt like there was things on the shoot that like I needed to work through to really like be who I truly am and love who I truly am. And Cricket was coming to the same realizations, and that was her turning point in her character arc. So yeah, I mean, I think loving yourself to the deepest capacity is what will elicit the fullness of your being in every way. And so that's kind of the journey that I'm on and that I'm taking, and I'm just so glad that Cricket was able to experience some of that, and through that character I was able to share that message with the world. So
That's wonderful.
Oh, so sweet.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
yeah.
For me, I think that us as humans, we have a bigger purpose, and to come into, not to always think about yourself. Sometimes you definitely have to put yourself out there for the well-being of others, and it doesn't necessarily have to mean sacrificing yourself, but random acts of kindness, and if you can lend a helping hand to somebody, do it, and not for you to feel good or for other people to say, oh look, he did the right thing, but just to help somebody else. You never know what people are going through. Everybody's fighting a different battle, so you never know when somebody might just need a hug, And Garrett kind of took the extreme. He sacrificed himself for the people he loved, and sometimes you got to do that, and I think it's very, very important. Yeah.
What do you think our key takeaways as hosts of this after show are after this season? What do you guys think?
Oh, me first? Gosh.
I don't know.
Pressure. Yeah. Oh gosh. Be careful who you trust. Don't trust the nice girl.
Blondes. I don't think we have any blondes in this room, so we
No.
can
Yeah,
say
we're
that,
good.
right?
Never judge a book by its cover.
Yes.
Well, blondes.
Be accepting of others. Be kind to one another.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Do you guys?
I think
You mean in terms of like watching the show, or just the experience of the covering the show?
Watching the show, seeing the characters develop, because I think that there was a message that was trying to be sent out to all of us, which I think Alberto touched on, which is to be kind to each other. Everyone's paths will catch up to them, kind of thing.
I think one of the biggest ones is you don't know what people are going through, ever.
Yep.
You never know, and sometimes they could be behaving in a way, and you can't assume that that's who they are. There could be something going on and you don't know. So
Yeah.
you should treat people with kindness, because they don't know what you're going through, because you could be going through something crazy and nobody's going to know. And thus, other people could be doing the same kind of thing, going through something really good or really bad, and they're not necessarily going to tell you. Be like, by the way, this happened in my life.
Right.
Right.
So to be more understanding of people.
Absolutely.
Right.
I think that Dead of Summer has a really good theme of growth. And, you know, when I was like, you know, when I was in school, I would always look forward to the summers because I'd be like, what's going to happen? You know, like, who am I going to be next year? I'm going to reinvent myself. I'm going to, whatever, be really smart next year, like, have a boyfriend next year, whatever. I would, like, try to, like, dream that up. And so whatever people want to present to you and kind of want to be, you have to be more accepting of that and mindful of that, even if it's not your vibe. And I think that the overall theme of acceptance, you know, if they want to present male or they want to present female or they want to present in charge and smart, maybe they don't get that at home. Maybe they're not getting what they need at home and they're presenting that at work or school. So,
And Dead of Summer was really smart. Well, not smart, but I'm saying it really had that element of you don't know what they're going through at home. And that's like what I said last time. What home are they going to? You know, they all come from really broken families and dark pasts, and you know they go there to find themselves and to find something new and different and nice, you know.
Yeah, it's so hard to judge a person when you realize there are so many forces at play, you know, in their life, and like, you know, a person may behave in a certain way that you can deem as good or bad or acceptable or non-acceptable, but there's so many factors that are contributing to that behavior. As we saw with everybody in the cast, their characters, there was like just so much more to them than met the eye, which is, I think, what you were saying, Gary. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I love, to me, Lost was one of my favorite shows of all time. And
Me too.
I just, you know, to me, I'm like, when people ask me about this show and then I cover it and I say, well, it's like Lost, but for teenagers at summer camp, because they're all finding a place to go where they belong. They never felt like they belong. I love the flashbacks about it that we're explaining these characters. I fell in love with the show, and I'm sad that a lot of them are dead, but dead is not dead. And I think I'm just in infinite denial, but you never know.
You never
right?
know. And I think Dead of Summer did a really good job in the last 3 episodes. Just it got really gritty.
It got crazy.
Yeah, I was really, really happy to see that.
Yeah.
They didn't really hold back.
Yeah.
It was just,
Yeah.
boom, let's
Yeah, it
go
was
for
insane.
it. You know?
We all talked about the twist with Amy on the last episode. What were your thoughts, both of you, when you read that that's what Amy's all about?
I was
bet some people
happy.
knew.
I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
Because like I was saying, I was like, oh, thank God she's not just like this flat, nice girl. Like, that's so boring. I'm so over that.
I think Elizabeth must have had so much fun playing that role.
Yeah.
She played so many, and you know, Russian, and you know, her being it. Well, it wasn't really her doing those crazy voices from other people, but at the same time, it's like it's in your mind. You know, you're saying words that are supposed to come out of somebody else's mouth. I think her character was so dynamic and had so many different colors to it, which was, I think, must have been so much fun to play.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not saying Garrett wasn't, but I'm saying.
Well, even if you knew, though, was it still a surprise to see the details of what actually goes down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because, you know, we weren't really given any details at the end anyway.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, yeah, Amy's the bad one. Like, okay, and Amy kills you. And I'm like, how? You get stabbed. And no, I don't get stabbed. And I was supposed to get bit on my neck. And then it was my
supposed
ear.
to get bit?
and then- what?
You're supposed to get bit?
Don't you remember?
She
bites
Mike
my
Tyson.
ear.
her.
Mike Tyson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it was, you never know. You never know. Dead of Summer. Yep.
Dead of Summer, hashtag you never know.
You never know, yeah.
Oh.
Hashtag.
Yeah, watch out. Do we have any last comments, questions from anyone that we want to address before this season is over? I'm very
I
sad.
just had that
now.
realization at
I
dinner.
know.
Like it's,
He had a moment.
I was
It was such a
it,
moment.
it hit me. I was like, it's
Yeah,
over.
because we were like, I was with my roommate and him and my roommate and I were like, we're celebrating tonight, yay! Like we're so sad but excited that like we had this experience, and then he's like, it's over.
It really is.
It all
really
dawned on
is.
him, like his entire universe just went.
Because you know you finish shooting, but the episodes is still airing.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
kind of really don't think about it.
Yeah.
It's like it's gonna last forever.
It's gonna
you
go
know?
on forever.
And then now
No.
it's oh no.
Dead of Summer.
Yeah. Not only did we say goodbye to a lot of our castmates, now we're saying goodbye to the show.
But we're in town together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you guys are good.
Yeah.
We're still here.
Yeah, you're here.
We'll see you soon.
Anytime you want to see us.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a bit about what we think could happen in the next seasons.
Yeah.
If and when, knock on wood, because there's no wood, I'm going to knock on my head. Dead of Summer gets picked up.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV
Predictions.
Prediction.
Sorry, Renee, I'm going to start with
I like
you
that
again.
Okay, so I think some crazy person is going to try to bring this camp back to life, and when they do, I think when they're all swimming, they're gonna find that like water bottle with the blood in it, and then they're gonna unleash the evil, and it'll happen all again.
Wait, question. Do you guys know kind of what they might be going for in the second season?
No.
Okay, so it's been announced. It's in our articles and
great.
stuff.
Ooh, tell
So
us.
our creators basically, this is going to be an anthology series, and it's going to take place in different eras. So it'll be completely new story, completely new characters, same location, and a different time period. So it could really go anywhere, but like obviously you're seeing kind of where the story is based and how it could kind of delineate in certain manifestations.
Really quickly to clarify, do you mean different characters but the same actors, or do you mean completely new cast?
It should be the same actors. That's what we've been told. So
wait, you guys
we would
could
be
come
back.
and play
Yeah. I
different
mean, I'm hoping. I'm like,
Really?
yeah. So that's why
Awesome.
I said I think I posted something and I was like, I'll be back, and I think people thought they meant I come back alive, but I really meant like I'll be back in season 2. Yeah. So.
Which I think for an actor that's the dream.
Yeah.
You come back and you play a whole different character, and you're able to explore different.
I
things.
mean, I am fingers crossed, because that would be such an amazing experience to like have a whole just new role to play with the same ensemble, basically. So
It's like shooting a movie.
yeah.
For 6 months.
So anyway, now you can make your predictions.
Well, a lot of people said it's going to be the 70s when Deb was a counselor, right?
I think Eddie had mentioned the
Yeah,
70s. I'm not
70s.
sure if
Okay.
it's actually the 70s, but I
Right.
think the 70s was mentioned
And
somewhere.
I mean, so I'm not sure if they're going to have some characters, make a reprise, or if they're just going to have completely new storyline, But I mean, Deb should be there, I guess, because she was.
It'll be young Deb,
Young Deb. Yeah. So
which we did see.
She'd
briefly.
be a different. It'd be a different actor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just, I mean, there's so many ways it could go, but that's kind of what.
I mean, it's so hard to make. Well, I hope we would figure out what Deb's backstory was.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I predict, is we would find it out, because that was the thing that we're like, Amy's like, well, you're not so innocent either, and it's just like, that's all we got.
Yeah.
No, I want more. So.
There's still a few open-ended questions, I think, even now, and I think it could go one of two ways. I think that if it were me, I would make it set in the 90s.
Yes.
Set with creepy boy. He's now a teenager, and now he's like Alex.
Anton.
Anton starts with Anton, right?
Oh my
Because
God.
it could be a different actor.
Is he like
Yeah.
sexy
No.
or no? He's weird.
Let's
No,
not
he's
even
super
think
weird.
about.
No, he's super
whether-
weird. Please make him. I want him to be super weird. Like I want him to be like gangly and just super weird. Gangly.
Oh, I thought you said dangly.
Not dangly.
Whoa.
I don't think so. Also, something that they could do very easily is make it in the 1800s, where Holyoke
Yes,
originated,
I
and then they
I
could
would
have
love that.
the
Can you
whole
imagine?
cast could be the followers, right? The grandparents or whatever. That would be easy to do as well.
I would
if you take
love
it super
that.
far back.
Yes.
But I don't think Freeform's done like a super far back one like that.
Well, it's about time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Freeform
mean,
had
they've never
done
done
a Dead of
horror.
Summer. Yeah.
They've never done horror.
One of the first.
They never done an anthology.
True.
So we are forging the path.
What time
To
period would
greatness.
you both like to play, if you could play any time period if the show could go at any time period in the history of it? Which would you like
I don't
to
want
play?
to do 1920s, darling, or like 30s,
The camp opened in 1924,
Yeah.
so you could.
Right.
50s, 70s also.
70s would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
50s and 70s, I'd say. 90s were cool.
90s would be cool because
yeah.
of grunge rock. There's a lot of darkness that they could play with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna take a big leap to next season because they feel like 90s is too close to 80s.
It's a
and
little
they're
bit.
gonna need a big.
I mean, yeah, because it was
But then-
89, so basically it was.
Yeah,
I think
basically
Early
70s.
70s, probably.
70s, yeah.
Yeah, and I have said many times I'm not all set with Deb's story. I was really hoping to get more, so I want more of Deb's story, and I don't think Deb would go out that easy. I think that she is somewhere lurking, her spirit, whatever, because I have been watching the show back ever since last week when we had Elizabeth Skyping in. I was like, I'm going to watch it all back as much as I can, and I'm going to see where I can get it. And I'm like watching all these little loopholes, and I'm like, no, Deb. Yeah. I'm not giving up the Deb and, Amy thing. It's just a thing, and I'm so excited to see where this can possibly go in the future seasons. Thank you so much for being here twice at AfterBuzz.
Yes, thank you guys.
It was
so much fun always.
so lovely. One more time for the fans, where can they find you on the interweb?
I am at Amber Coney on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook.com/Amber Coney.
And I'm CP Jungle Boy on Instagram and Twitter. She laughs all the time.
Hey guys, I'm Renee Ariel, and you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Renee Ariel.
And my name's Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D. Lane.
Thanks for watching, guys. My name is Amber Plaster. You can tweet at me at Amber Plaster.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. You can find all of us, of course, at AfterBuzz TV, Twitter and Instagram. Me, Sam Davidson, at SamD43 on Twitter and Instagram, at SamDavidsonEntertainment.com. Keep on tweeting at us using the hashtag ABTVDOS. I will answer you at least, because I will find you. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.